Former President Donald Trump was in Mosinee today. It's his 5th trip to the state so far this year. Our Ellie LaLiberte was at the rally today and joins us with what Trump addressed.
Crowd here very excited to hear Donald Trump speak today, but the common theme was to try to get Wisconsinites out to the polls. With less than 60 days to the election, the campaign is trying to win over the undecided voters here in Wisconsin.
We want Trump! We want Trump!
Donald Trump's rally in Wisconsin focused heavily on the economy and immigration.
Together we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime.
He also touched on abortion and transgender issues.
Keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools.
Falsely claiming children are getting gender-affirming surgical operations in school. But a common theme throughout was an attack on the other side of the ticket, a message seen on the signs throughout the event.
They're radical left Marxists, and that's what she is. And
calling Biden, Harris, and Walz corrupt.
We're going to cast out the corrupt political class. We're going to restore our republic, and we are going to drain the swamp.
Joining Trump on the stage, Republican Senate candidate Eric Hovde. He used that moment to rally support for his campaign against current Senator Tammy Baldwin.
Are you ready to save the American dream? Let's go get them!
Donald Trump also went on a tangent addressing Friday's decision to delay his criminal sentencing in the case of falsifying business records until after the November election, saying it was wrong in the first place.
I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone. I say it all the time. He's sort of the ultimate, you know, he's the ultimate criminal. I got indicted more than him. My parents are up there. They're great people. They're looking down on me right now. I can't believe this has happened to my son.
The former president finished speaking by calling for Wisconsinites to vote in November. Donald Trump also mentioned his upcoming debate against Kamala Harris, saying he is confident going into it. Reporting in Mosinee, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. Notably, the former president did not address Wednesday's school shooting in Georgia that left 4 dead. Also on the campaign trail is Vice President Harris. The Democratic presidential nominee is in Pittsburgh this weekend, making the rounds and visiting local shops as she preps for her presidential debate with former President Trump on Tuesday. Friday, Harris received a very eye-opening endorsement from the other side of the aisle, former Vice President Dick Cheney.
I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay, and if not important, to put country above party. And I'm honored to have their support, and I think it's an important statement right now. A lot of what I think is happening, and I was just talking with some folks here in Pittsburgh about it, is that people are exhausted about the division and the attempts to kind of divide us as Americans. And them stepping up to make this public statement, I think, is courageous, but also for people like the folks I was just talking with, it really reinforces for them that we love our country and we have more in common than what separates us.
Vice President Harris and former President Trump will have their first presidential debate Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central in Philadelphia on ABC. We'll have a recap of the debate on News 3 Now at 10 the same evening. Let's get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze is out on the weather patio. Another calm and cool day.
Yeah, it's just been absolutely gorgeous here on this Saturday. A little bit chilly to start. In fact, Black River Falls slipped below freezing this morning. We rebounded back into those 60s with plenty of sunshine, and hopefully you were able to get out and enjoy it. If not, you've got about 10 extra days to enjoy the sunshine as temperatures will slowly climb back into those 80s. Tonight, though, we're going to slip into those 40s once again. A little bit warmer, actually, further north. That pocket of cooler air that once chilled Black River Falls, Camp Douglas, Bosco Bell, Mineral Point into the 30s. That's more into Illinois. So actually further south tonight, you're going to be cooler than folks of farther north as this high pressure system continues to slide its way through parts of the Great Lakes. Plenty of sunshine out there as we sit in the 60s. We are going to talk about this area off the Yucatan Peninsula and why that could be our next rainmaker in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you then. Now, how does drinking on a ski hill with a troll sound to you? Well, to many, it was a nice way to kick back and relax. The Thirsty Troll Brew Fest kicked off today from noon till 5, offering beer from 30 brewers and had over 125 beers. And something new this year was the event took place about 5 miles from the usual location at Tyrrell Basin. Although the location was different, it was still the same old backyard Brewfest feel that everyone has come to love. The Verona High School cross-country team is about to say farewell to one of its best coaches. Coach Randy Marks has been around the school for a long, long time. Chances are he has met or coached students as parents and possibly grandparents. That's because he's been coaching the cross-country team at Verona for 60 years. He plans to retire after this season. Coach Marks talks about what he believes makes each athlete special and, of course, his time supporting the school and its pupils.
Watching kids come in and improve and get stronger, more confident, and I think that's a real thing, whether the kid's a fast runner or whether he's a champion runner. If they improve and get better and feel good about themselves, and the sport has succeeded.
The cross-country meet was at 9 this morning behind the high school at Stewart Woods. Although meets in itself are special, the fact that this is the last cross-country team coached by Marks makes it even that much more special. A salmonella outbreak has been reported in 9 states, Wisconsin included. The symptoms of salmonella and what you should do if you have contaminated eggs, that and more coming up.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest.
Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
When you vote, please think about me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Haier. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
Okay, guys, we're all here because U.S. Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines for just $90.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah. It's a huge deal. You also get 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. Did you check the expiration dates?
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
Get 4 free phones of your choice with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for $90.
I was a Kamala Harris supporter. That changed after an illegal alien murdered my son. Running him over, then driving back and forth over Drew's body 3 times. The man who killed my son had been arrested previously, but Kamala Harris let him go. As San Francisco's DA, Kamala was soft on crime. As a senator, she supported releasing criminal aliens back into our neighborhoods. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
News 3 Now is focusing on the issues and the races that matter where you live, with 3 for the people.
Talking with local candidates, looking at both sides of the issues, and fact-checking it all, so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6, moving forward.
Thank you for staying with us. Madison police say 1 person is injured following an incident last night that involved an officer firing their weapon. This happened just after 10:30 on Friday on the 400 block of West Gilman Street, just off of State Street. MPD says officers confronted a person with a firearm and shots were fired by Madison police. They say no one was hit by gunfire. Dane County Sheriff's Office is investigating. The suspect in the murder of a UW-Whitewater gymnast was back in court Friday. 23-year-old Chad Richards is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and the use of a dangerous weapon. According to a criminal complaint, the victim, Kara Welsh, was shot 8 times. Also in the complaint, Richards claimed Welsh was his girlfriend. It also says that police found 11 shell casings and a broken door at the apartment. Richards' preliminary hearing is set for October 28th. Welsh's family was also in court Friday but did not speak. There's an important health alert concerning a breakfast staple. The CDC is recalling some eggs that have been linked to a salmonella outbreak. It started at Milo's Poultry Farms, LLC of Banjul, Wisconsin. According to the CDC, it has since spread to 65 people in 9 states with 24 hospitalizations. No deaths at the time have been reported. airport pancakes, and a Western throwback. We share some fun activities to do in the Dairy State tomorrow, but not without a check of your first one forecast when we return.
Women need to pay close attention
to what Eric Hovde says about access to abortion.
Hovde's all in about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And he wanted Roe overturned.
Do you think Roe versus Wade should be overturned?
Yes. So Eric Hovde is okay with politicians overruling decisions of doctors like me.
My patients worry about what Hovde will take away next.
A vote for Eric Hovde means we'll lose even more control over our lives.
Women Vote is responsible for the content of this ad.
Action! Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Hurry, it's the final days. Just $3.95 to shake up your living room with a fresh new look. Get this power recliner for a steal, an upholstered bed in 2 colors, or a super padded, family-friendly reclining sectional. And of course, totally free doorstep shipping with no minimum.
Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Why do I care about papers so much? Because my life and career were built on them. Auditions, headshots, box line. I mean, the least I can do is keep it around. See? She gets it. Ethan, empty, flatten, then recycle. I'm a papertarian. Sue me. And you can recycle those papers too. Let's go, Gary. Okay. What? You don't get fan mail?
I will make it a top priority to bring down costs for all Americans.
Her plan? She'll take on big oil and drug companies who rip us off, penalize big corporations who price gouge us on food and gas, and make billionaires pay their fair share.
Donald Trump fights for billionaires and large corporations. I will fight to give money back to working and middle-class Americans.
Climate Power Action and FFPAC are responsible for the content of this ad.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Here are 2 fun things you can do in Wisconsin on Sunday. First, there's the Wild West Days in Mosinee. Their 67th annual event started yesterday, and it goes until Sunday in Lions Park in Mosinee. Just like every year before, there's going to be tons of activities, including the carnival, truck and tractor pull, parade, and demo derby. And finally, what's better than pancakes and planes? Tomorrow morning at the Waunakee Airport from 7:30 to noon, they'll be serving a delicious hot pancake breakfast. It is $10 for adults and $7 for kids 12 and under. If the weather permits, you can even go for an airplane ride for a soaring view of Madison and Waunakee. Now let's get a look at your first one forecast. Meteorologist Blaze Keller joins us now. Blaze.
And I think the weather will be a-okay for anybody hoping to get up and see a sight of southern Wisconsin, because we're going to continue to sit underneath these quiet conditions. Stay mainly dry, though, really for the extended forecast. But we are going to talk about a conditional rain chance. I kind of teased it earlier, that group of thunderstorms well off to our south in the Gulf of Mexico. Speaking of tomorrow, Sunday, mid-70s, plenty of sunshine, at least for the second half of the day. Maybe the first half, more partly sunny conditions, but winds are going to remain light and those clouds are going to clear as we go throughout your Sunday. Of course, Ironman is going to be going on in downtown Madison. Plenty of sunshine, and when it starts at 7 a.m., 48 degrees, ending the day in those low to mid 70s. Water temperature for those looking to get into the water taking part, right around 75 degrees, so actually a little bit warmer than our air temperatures, and obviously a big good luck to those participating. And for folks who want to cheer them on, just remember that jacket tomorrow morning. So that conditional rain chance, it's being because we're not necessarily sure if that group of thunderstorms, a tropical invest, is going to become a tropical depression and then further a tropical storm. Right now we just have eyes on it, right where this red arrow is. Let's assume that this tropical invest becomes a tropical depression and maybe a tropical storm. Latest model data takes it into the Great Lakes as we go into your Sunday and further into your Monday as well. So if we do see this, the remnants of it, our rain chances increase as we head into your next weekend. Temperatures will cool down a little bit and will obviously be cloudy, but if we don't see that, we won't see the rain. We'll probably see increase in clouds, but our temperatures stay in the 80s for longer. You'll see that here in the extended forecast. If we do assume that we do get the rain, our temperatures go from the 80s on Saturday to the 70s on Sunday, and then we kind of stay a little bit cooler there, maybe that following Monday. But that'll be our only rain chance really over the next 10 days, so we're going to watch it carefully if that all comes together. If not, we look to remain dry pretty much through the next 10 days.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Still ahead, Andrew has the highlights from Wisconsin's Week 2 matchup with South Dakota. Next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We know Wisconsin workers can get the job done.
But China has been taking our jobs.
For years, our government built America's infrastructure with Chinese iron and steel. I said that's got to change.
Tammy Baldwin wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel. Now we're getting more work in Wisconsin.
With Wisconsin workers.
Tammy Baldwin stood up to China and our government.
She got the job done.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
You're seeing Skechers' famous glide step footwear everywhere. And now that famous design is available in hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Get the comfort and style of glide step now with the convenience of slip-ins with no bending down or touching your shoes. Try glide step Skechers slip-ins.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll do it with new ideas to make middle-class life more affordable. New caps on the price of medicine. New investments in clean energy to bring down costs for families. And while Trump will cut taxes for the super rich, she'll cut taxes for the rest of us. A stronger middle class. A future we can afford. LCV Victory Fund and FF PAC are responsible for the content of this ad.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything.
everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay! We love our guests.
Love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Help us pack the truck to kick off Coats for Kids.
Monday, News 3 Now is collecting kid-sized winter coats at Klinky Cleaners on Monona Drive.
Stop by with your donation to keep kids warm this winter.
Pack the truck with Coats for Kids.
In the final seconds of last night's season-opening loss, in an attempt to lead the Packers to a game-winning drive, Jordan Love twisted his knee and suffered what MRIs confirmed to be an MCL sprain. This is good news and bad news. The good news being that there is no ACL damage, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term injury. The new franchise quarterback, who just signed a contract to make him the highest-paid player in NFL history, will certainly miss some time, but the Packers did avoid catastrophe. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Love could miss 3 to 4 weeks, which isn't too bad, but the timeline, it's not all that clear-cut. Wisconsin's Week 1 win over Western Michigan did not come without its caveats. After all, they were trailing in the fourth quarter, and that's why this week against South Dakota, they wanted to come out and assert their dominance immediately. And they did just that right away. Their first drive was scripted to perfection. It started out by spreading out the field. They didn't have a single play of 20 yards or more last week. And on their second play of the game today, a 32-yard completion. Gorgeous throw by Tyler Van Dyke to a streaking Vinny Anthony. And the Badgers were in business because later in the drive, it was Ches Malusi's turn, who took the bulk of the ground game without Tawi Walker today. And look at Ches, back for a sixth season in college, scores one of his 2 touchdowns on the day, putting Wisconsin on the board first. But the Badgers, they weren't done buzzing. Later in the first quarter, it's Van Dyke with a textbook example of how to run the run-pass option. Tosses to a wide-open C.J. Williams, who would run to the house untouched. A fantastic first quarter fueled Wisconsin to a big lead, and despite a second-half push from the Coyotes, the Badgers improved to 2-0 on the season, and they will welcome number 4 Alabama to Camp Randall next week. Our Zach Hanley will have a full game story on today's game against South Dakota tonight at 10. Down to Whitewater, where third-ranked UW Whitewater trying to start their journey to their first national title in 10 years, and it is looking good early. They ran for 286 yards on the ground. That will usually get the job done, and it certainly did. They win the season opener at Perkins Stadium 34-7. And how about this for setting a statement to start your season? UW Platteville is a program that is on the rise. Just outside of the preseason top 25, they laid a total of 37 points. This isn't updated because they just scored again right before we came on air. 37 points in the first 16 minutes of the game. Dang. Quarterback starts the game 5 for 5 for 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. That's pretty good usually.
Yeah, not too bad. But real quick on Jordan Love before we head on over to weather. I would say initially I thought it was an ankle. Happy that it is, a minor knee injury, but an injury nonetheless. Hopefully they can bring somebody in with a little bit more experience before they kick off this stretch without Jordan.
Maybe Ryan Tannehill. Keep your eyes on him.
For sure. All right, a quick check of the forecast for you.
Yeah. Hey, Ironman tomorrow. Good luck to everybody participating. A chilly start, upper 40s, but we're ending the day with plenty of sunshine in those low to mid 70s. 80s on Monday. We stay dry with maybe some rain by next weekend. Doesn't look super great now, but we'll keep you guys updated. Plenty of sunshine next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze, and thank you, Andrew. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock. Now go watch some college football.